Welcome back to 2CTV, everybody. We are dealing with an ongoing situation in the Middle East as Israel has once again been attacked from multiple sides. Initially from Yemen, the Houthis, and now Syria. This is the first time there's been an attack from Syria since the fall of Bashar al-Assad. We're going to go through all the updates that we have over the last few minutes. We can also now confirm that the Israeli Defense Forces have made the move against Syria. They are hitting Syria badly, and of course we're going to give you guys a reaction on from all sides and get your reaction in the comment section and in the live chat. Let's start by talking about what actually happened. So 2 rockets were launched from southern parts of Syria. They did hit the open areas in the Golan Heights, and of course this prompted sirens in a number of towns about 35 miles northeast of Tiberias. Now, one issue that we had to deal with was because just before those rockets, the Houthis from Yemen were also attacking. Of course, the Iron Dome were intercepting those missiles. But one issue is right now what's going to happen to Syria and the relationship between the Israeli government and al-Jilani of Damascus. Before we start, this is the moment when the sirens went off. If you're watching this from Israel, just a quick heads up, in the next few seconds we're going to show you the footage from the sirens. Maybe turn it down so your neighbors don't panic. So this was the situation. Then we started getting sirens from northern parts of Israel. So this was 3 rounds of sirens. But then the latest ones from the north was actually a false alarm. So that was good. A lot of people panicked thinking this could be coming from Lebanon somehow, but it wasn't actually. Let's go to the moment that one of the missiles, one of the rockets were intercepted by the Israeli air defense system, and then we're going to give you guys a reaction from the Israeli government and what's actually happening as we speak. This is a live ongoing development. Stay with us as we get more information. Slowly faded as it got intercepted by the Israeli air defense system. Now, this was the statement where we received. Explosions were heard after the sirens sounded in 2 areas in Golan Heights. The Israeli army radio reported that the 2 rockets were fired from Syria in the southern parts, landing in these open areas. In response, the Israeli artillery have now started shelling the southern parts of Syria. The IDF is also investigating who was actually behind this attack. We do have a couple of groups taking responsibility, claiming responsibility, and surprise, surprise, connected to the Islamic Republic of Iran. Of course, the Israelis are not happy with the al-Jilani of Syria. The defense minister, Israel Katz, has now declared that Israel views the Syrian leader, al-Jilani, as directly responsible for every threat and rocket that's been fired and will be fired towards the state of Israel. Israel Katz also said that a full response will come soon. He also warned that we will not allow a return to the reality of October the 7th. So as we said, following this statement over the last few minutes, the Israeli Defense Forces have started their counter-operation in Syria as well. This is going to be, I believe, a limited operation, but we'll find out if there's going to be any escalation in the Syrian territory and the way they will be clashing with the Israelis. Now, there is also we are actually, I believe, I was just told that we are waiting for the first footage and images also coming from Syria. We'll get the confirmation and verify the footage before we show it to you guys, obviously, as usual. So stay with us beforehand. This is the first group that has claimed responsibility. The Islamic Republic of Iran's Islamic Resistance Front in Syria. This is an Iranian-backed resistance faction consisting of Shia Muslims and some of the SSMP, they have taken responsibility. They have provided evidence of their claim, showing the two improvised launch pads with the BM-21 grade rockets that was aimed at Israel. So the Islamic Republic, the IRGC side, seemed to have some evidence for their claim that it was them attacking Israel. But we also have the second group that's randomly popped up now. In case you don't know, there's a new group in Israel that's been set up, calling itself the Martyr Mohammed Al-Daif Brigade, after Mohammed Al-Daif, who was eliminated by the IDF, announcing its formation a few days ago on Saturday, and vowing to continue the path of resistance, as they call it, in honor of the pure blood shed. They now say it was us. It makes no sense, because the attack came from Syria, not Judea and Samaria. It's highly likely that it was in fact the IRGC militias. It doesn't help the timing of this, because if the IDF are investigating to exactly find out what specific group, okay? If it does happen to be the IRGC Shias, while we are getting to the end game when it comes to the negotiations between the United States and the Islamic Republic of Iran, and it doesn't seem to be going too well, despite the fact that yesterday there was a report by the mainstream media that we also mentioned that there was a secret proposal from the US to Iran saying, we will allow you to enrich uranium a little bit. Everybody panicked. Now, following that, President Trump, the White House, Steve Witkoff, everybody denied those claims, saying that's not true. The Iranian regime also said, yeah, we haven't actually received that. The Iranian regime, since yesterday, specifically today, they are kicking off, saying that we don't think there's going to be any deal. So those negotiations are not going well unless both sides sign some sort of interim deal, like a fake transition deal until the next negotiations. Then if it's proven that the IRGC militias are behind what happened in Israel tonight from Syria, it's going to be chaos. Of course, the Israelis would say, well, the negotiations are not going well. We're not waiting any longer. We're going to have to go and defend ourselves against the Islamic Republic. They can also now use Al-Julani, because Al-Julani has been hunting down all the Shia militias. Some of them are still in Syria, in southern parts of Syria. Most of the IRGC idiots, they have abandoned their bases in Syria because obviously Bashar al-Assad was supporting the Shias. Now, this would give a justification to Al-Julani to go and fully take over those parts in the south. Israel will not be too happy. Israel would say, we can go and clean it up. It's a bit of a mess. In the meantime, the Iranian regime should probably start to panic. While we wait for reactions, let's get some of the comments from you guys. Super chat from MT, thank you, saying Israel getting involved. Finally, the international community will pay attention to the Syrian Christians and Druze, but they will blame Israel. They can't, because Israel has been the only country so far, and the only group so far, since Al-Julani came into power, that Israelis have been helping the Druze and Christians. Israelis have been defending Druze and Christians against the militias. We have a statement from the IDF spokesman. Let's just see if this is related to this. This is actually about the latest operation, the Israelis. Okay, so this is the IDF spokesperson saying, over the past week, the IDF has intensified strikes across Gaza under Operation Gideon's Chariots, targeting Hamas infrastructure hidden in civilian areas. Dozens of terrorists have been eliminated, with efforts made to minimize civilian harm. The main goals remain: returning the hostages and defeating Hamas. Meanwhile, over 458 trucks remain stuck at the Kerem Shalom crossing due to a local inaction in Gaza. The IDF denies claims of firing on civilians, calling them false and part of Hamas propaganda. This is quite interesting because this is a statement that's just been released now. This was a speech by the Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson, and it shows that what they want to, I believe, indicate is we know what's happening, the rockets from Syria. We're not going to react because the other IDF guys are now hitting Syria as we speak. We are going to focus on the bigger mission right now, which is finalizing the mission in Gaza, especially after all the propaganda over the last few hours and day or two about the IDF hitting the humanitarian aid. Is really weird. They do it every few months anyway. So the IDF are trying to, the Israelis are trying to sort out that propaganda, counter it, and then obviously debunk those claims. The Americans have already basically said we don't believe Hamas, because Hamas said, oh yeah, they are hitting our civilians, and Trump said we don't believe you. And so that really didn't get anywhere. So, but they're not going to be overreacting. So I assume that this is going to be a statement on Israel's reaction to the Iranian regime. But they're going to take their time. The IDF are still investigating this. If they can confirm that the IRGC militias were behind this, as the IRGC militias claim, then the Iranian regime are in a very bad place. Jeff says this is a continuation of the never-ending threat that Islamists pose against the West. It's not going to stop even if Israel pulls out of Gaza. Well, they will definitely not stop if Israel pulls out of Gaza, yes. It will just get worse. Someone said Syria is ready to be invaded. But there won't be a need for an invasion. There just has to be a full counter-strike on the IRGC militia bases in the southern parts. We have we have an idiot. Why you clickbait? Though I hate it. Big dislike and bye-bye. Considering, firstly, we showed you the evidence of the rockets. We gave you the statement from the Islamists claiming responsibility. And then the IDF statement and the Israeli defense minister himself saying, yes, attack came from Syria and we are investigating. And the IDF, we showed you the evidence that they are now hitting Syria. This person says, why you clickbait though? I hate it. Big dislike and bye-bye. Okay, I hope you can take your pills before going to bed. All right, let's go to some sane human beings. There's a super chat again, MT, saying should have been more clear. Sorry, they will see the Syrian Christians and Druze have been killed. I think that's supposed to say killed, yeah. But we'll pretend it's Israel doing it, not the Israelis. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they eventually will be blaming Israel for everything anyway. So eventually they're going to be doing the same thing when it comes to what's been going on to Druze and Christians. They're probably going to say, I don't know, Israel created a toxic atmosphere, so Islamists in Syria are now killing the Druze. Is that Chinese to see? The accent, unintentionally Chinese. It's because he wasn't using verbs. Why was he? It was like, why you clickbait? Why do you? I mean, if you then that means that clickbait will be the verb. That makes no sense. Oh dear. Bye. All right. There's more. Dear Tusi, I think your goal right now, I think your goal not right. It's not my fault. This is a sentence. I think your goal right now should be foxing on Iran support. Who you know there in diplomatic way to topple the regime. That is the cause of evil in the Middle East. Yes, okay, I got that finally. Okay, good. Yes, well, yes, obviously the focus should be for every person who believes in life and freedom across the world to wish the downfall of the Islamic Republic of Iran. All right, where are the crazies? Do we have any more crazies? Kate says, clickbait. Clickbait, I love that. Blue Sapphire says, they literally blame us for breathing. Even if we somehow cure cancer. Yeah, they will still blame it for creating it, yeah. Ridiculous example, but yeah, they wouldn't trust any cure coming from Israel, by the way. So that's the fascinating part. What else do we have from you guys? Let's just see if we have the update from the IDF's military operation in Syria. It's all kicking off again. Just double check this. there is going to be another statement. There's going to be a counter statement from the Hamas in Gaza in reaction to what the IDF just said, that obviously they denied the claims that they've been targeting the civilians. We still have not heard from the president of Syria, ladies and gentlemen. Al-Julani is probably right now, as we speak, in bed, having a nice dream. You would think that he will be on top of this. It doesn't seem to be. There we go. So we have this post as well from Israel Katz. It's the same as his original statement to the press, by the way. It's just the same post, but in the form of a tweet. Israel Katz, defense minister, says that we hold the Syrian president directly responsible for every threat and firing at the state of Israel, and the full response will come as soon as possible. We will not allow the return to reality. So yeah, it's the same as the original statement coming from the defense ministry in Israel. Let's just double check to see if we have the... I am waiting for a very specific information, guys, because as I said, there was a video that we have to verify first before actually showing it to you. I don't want to give you guys some fake news. That has not been verified yet, so that's good. Lovely to know. All right, let's go back to you guys before we get more info. By the way, if you joined the live stream late, this is significant because it's the first time an attack from Syria has come since Assad left office. He ran away from the country. By the way, we are also awaiting the arrival of Saint Greta Thunberg in Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces have said that they will be intercepting her arrival. She's coming on a boat. She's going to be the first white person to illegally enter Gaza on a small boat. Literally, I'm not even joking. She's literally getting to Gaza on a boat. All right, we have a statement. There we go. I was waiting for this. The Houthis have released a statement after the attack. So obviously, the first attack came from Yemen. The second one came from Syria. The Houthis. Oh, God. It's this crazy guy, by the way. You can't help but love him. He's mental. Absolutely insane. It's so crazy. He's the loud guy. Blah, 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 blah. Actually, he was probably the guy who left that comment. Why you clickbait? It's him. That was him. All right, our missile was successful because we delayed a US cargo plane from landing at Ben Gurion Airport. Okay, he's drunk. Yes, it wasn't. So this refers to this. The sirens, the alert that was basically, they were targeting the central parts of Israel. The Israeli air defense system successfully intercepted it. Nothing actually happened. And this idiot is saying, our missile was successful. Why you clickbait? Bill says that Greta can go to Gaza and service the Hamas boys. To give the goats a break. Oh dear. To be fair, the goats epidemic is mostly a problem in Afghanistan and Pakistan rather than Gaza, but you know. Mindful Mosaic says that Tutsi gets paid by Zionists. Ooh, the Zionists are paying me. You're just jealous that you're not getting paid. I'm still waiting for my check from Mossad, by the way. It's so funny, all these conspiracy theories. Niv says, there's something about little Greta that triggers me. She's not that little anymore, by the way. Alright, I'm not calling her fat. I'm just saying she's like... She's getting taller. We got more crazy people in the live chat. This is going to be fun. If Greta gets wiped out, they'll blame the far right. Highly likely, actually. They'll blame climate change. It was climate change. It was too hot in Gaza. She just melted. She's going to burn. I mean, her skin, not like... Maya, stop presuming Greta's gender, or you may be on her hit list. I was blocked by her, like before it was cool to block people on Twitter. She did not like me. There was a debate that was supposed to be organized between me and Greta, and that didn't happen. That was, what was it, 2022, 2020? When she became 18. 2023? Something like that. And she backed away. Not sure what happened there. There was also a debate that was organized between me and the leader of the BLM, the Black Lives Matter, the one in the UK. What was her name? She couldn't make it, and then she got shot in the head. She's still alive, by the way. I forgot her name. She was crazy. She was actually shot in the head by BLM gangs. You can't make this up. It's not like the white police officer shot her. No. Yeah, so these are the two debates that never happened, unfortunately. Tutsi gets paid by Zionists. Get paid by Zionists, and yet you paid to Tutsi to say it. That's true. I'm getting paid by the enemy. That's so funny. The trolls. Also, these trolls don't really understand. The more they click on the videos and watch it long, they actually help the algorithm. So the problem is that most of our videos on YouTube get demonetized because they're sensitive topics. So most of the payment to me is actually, well, not to me, it goes to the business, to the team, is by joining 2CTV Plus as a member, our independent platform. Oh yes, in case you don't know, you can go directly on 2C.tv and download the app, the 2CTV app, and you get access to everything, documentaries, chat forum, and my special OnlyFans. All right, there's no special OnlyFans yet. All right, Jesse says bye Damascus. Now, for the record, the Israelis are not overreacting. The IDF are currently hitting the southern parts of Syria, where the rockets was launched from. So they're not necessarily going for the capital. Yeah, we're not going to get any more updates from that idiot, the so-called president of Syria. We will keep you guys posted on this. It's still an ongoing development. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.